The President says there will be no room for communal or religious extremism again. The President invites the Parliament for a transformative change. Dr. Ashoka Sapumal Ranwala has been appointed as the Speaker. His deputy is Mohammad Rizvi Salih. Bimal Ratnayaka is the leader of the House, and Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa became the Chief Government Whip. The controversial crimes will be reinvestigated. Goods and services will be provided to people without any shortage. Public servants will receive a salary hike. While new ministers were assuming duties, 3 former ministers were called to the CID. An arrest. The stories in detail. The first session of the 10th Parliament was ceremonially inaugurated today in the morning.
Later, Dr. Ashoka Sapumal Ranwala was elected unopposed as the new Speaker of the Parliament.
ගරු මන්ත්‍රීවරණි දසවැනි පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට තේරීපත් වූ ඔබතුමන්ලා ඔබතුමියන්ලා සියලු දෙනාම ඉතාම ගෞරවයෙන් මෙම සභාවට පිළිගනු ලබනවා. ගරු මන්ත්‍රීවරණි අද දින පාර්ලිමේන්තුව දැන් කතානායකවරයෙකු ඡන්දයෙන් තෝරාපත් කර ගැනීමෙහි නිරත විය යුතුය. අභිනව දසවැනි පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ කතානායක
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya proposed Dr. Ashoka Sapumal Ranwala as the Speaker of the new 10th Parliament. Minister Vijitha Herath seconded the name of Dr. Ashoka Sapumal Ranwala as the Speaker of the new 10th Parliament.
වෙනත් මන්ත්‍රීවරයෙකු යෝජනා වී නොමැති හේයි පාර්ලිමේන්තු මන්ත්‍රී ගරු අශෝක සපුමල් රන්වල මහතා දසවැනි පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ කතානායකවරයා වශයෙන් යථා පරිදි තෝරාපත් කරනු ලැබූ බව මම මෙම සභාවට ප්‍රකාශ කර සිටිනවා.
Speaker Ashoka Ranwala said that he thanked everyone for electing him as the Speaker of the Supreme Assembly of Parliament. He added that all the members should take oath or take the pledge and informed that Christian or Catholic members of Parliament to take their oath and rest of the members belonging to other religions to take their pledge.
අනුගමනය කරන බවටද ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ දේශය තුල වෙනම රජයක් පිහිටුවීමට කෙලින්ම හෝ අන්‍යාකාරයකින් ශ්‍රී ලංකාව තුලදී හෝ ඉන් පිටතදී
Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa complimented the Speaker on being elected as the new Speaker to the Parliament on behalf of everyone. Parliamentarian Rauf Hakim complimented the Speaker who has been elected as the new Speaker of the 10th Parliament on behalf of the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress. Later on, parliamentarians were elected for other posts in the Parliament. Speaker Ashoka Sapumal Ranwala pledged to do the maximum in order to achieve the expectations of the people of the country, to fulfill the basic activities of the Parliament and to make the process of the new political culture expected by the people of the country more fruitful and meaningful. He requested the members to elect Deputy Speaker for the new Parliament.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුව දැන් නියෝජ්‍ය කතානායකවරයෙකු ඡන්දයෙන් තෝරාපත් කර ගැනීමෙහි නිරත විය යුතුය.
Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa proposed the name of Parliament member Mohammad Rizvi Salih as the Deputy Speaker of the 10th Parliament. Member of Parliament Saroja Paulraj said that she is second in the proposal of parliamentarian Mohammad Rizvi Salih as the Deputy Speaker. Speaker Ashoka Ranwala added that since there are no names proposed for the post of Deputy Speaker, Mohammad Rizvi Salih has been rightfully elected as the Deputy Speaker. Speaker requested the House to elect a Deputy Chairman of committees. Minister Sunil Handunnethi proposed the name of Parliament member Hemali Veerasekara to the post of Deputy Chairman of Committees of the 10th Parliament. Member of Parliament Samanmali Gunasinghe has seconded the proposal of the name Hemali Veerasekara as the Deputy Chairperson of Committees to the Parliament. Speaker Ashoka Ranwala Ranwala said that since there is no name proposed of another member of parliament, the election of Hemali Weerasekara as the deputy chairperson of committees as the rightful person. Bimal Ratnayaka has been appointed as the leader of the house of the new parliament. Dr. Nalinda Jatissa has been appointed as the chief government whip.
President Anura Kumar Disanayaka arrived in the parliament today morning in order to present the policy statement of the new government. The arrival of the president was marked song traditional ceremonies. The Speaker, along with the Secretary General of Parliament and a group of others, welcomed the President at the parliamentary premises. This has been the first occasion where President Anura Kumar Disanayaka addressed the Parliament after becoming the President of the country.
අතීතයේ මේ හඳුන්වනු ලැබුවේ රාජාසන කතාව නමින්. එය එකරහැර ලෙසින් සැලකෙනවා. ඒ අනුව ජනාධිපතිවරයා පෙරටු කර ගනිමින් පිටුපසින් කතානායකවරයා සහිතව පාර්ලිමේන්තු සභාවකට ගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමා අපේ ජාතික රූපවාහිනිය සහ සියලු මාධ්‍ය සමූහය මේ අභිනව පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට සුබ පැතුම් එකතු කරනවා රට ගොඩ නැංවීම උදෙසා.
President Anura Kumar Disanayaka says that a political culture sans communal or religious slogans should be established in the country. The President stresses that it is essential to transform the publicly isolated parliament into a body that fulfills public aspirations. The President stated these facts in delivering the government's policy statement in Parliament today. President Anura Kumar Disanayaka said that there is no room for creating divisions among the people of this country based on ethnicity or religion.
While we may hold diverse political opinions, I assure you with full responsibility that we will not allow a resurgence of divisive, racist politics in our country. Similarly, no form of religious extremism will be permitted to take root. Our nation has endured immense suffering due to ethnic conflicts. This soil has been soaked with enough blood and rivers have flowed with the tears of countless people. Mistrust, suspicion and anger among communities have grown to alarming levels. As representatives of this parliament, our foremost responsibility is to ensure that our future generations inherit a nation free of such suffering. We owe it to them to create a state where such tragedies are not repeated. In politics, we may have countless slogans and battle cries, whether they be about economy or democracy. However, I guarantee that no one will be allowed to use nationalist or religious rhetoric as a mean to gain political power in this country.
The President said that the controversial crimes will be further reinvestigated.
I assure you that the crimes that fueled controversy will be exposed. The perpetrators will face justice and fairness will be ensured for the victims. We aim to establish a state where law, justice and fairness prevail. If we fail to do so within this mandate, there is little point in dreaming of such a state in the future. Let us remember that the public mandate we have received is steeped in these expectations and yearnings for justice.
The President stated that the third review relevant to the extended loan facility of the International Monetary Fund will be signed on the 23rd of this month.
As we took office, we were fully aware of the depth and scale of the economic challenges we were facing, even while we were engaged in opposition politics. Our economy was caught in a severe crisis, deeply entrenched in a massive recession and substantial economic contraction. We found ourselves dealing with an extremely fragile economic system. This economy cannot withstand drastic shocks, and so immediately upon taking power, our focus turned to ensuring economic stability and reaffirming trust with the relevant economic stakeholders. Therefore, during the presidential and general elections, we promised the people that we would manage the economy in accordance with the parameters agreed upon with the International Monetary Fund. As a result, we are currently engaged in several crucial actions to stabilize the economy, and everyone knows that the third review by the IMF has been delayed. Originally, this review was supposed to begin in September, but due to the presidential and parliamentary elections, it was postponed. As soon as the general election was concluded, the IMF delegation arrived on the 17th, and we have been in extended discussions with them. We are optimistic that by the 23rd, we will be able to finalize and will be able to sign an agreement with the IMF staff level, marking a critical step in our journey with the IMF. This is a crucial step in moving forward with the IMF. Additionally, the debt restructuring program agreed upon with the IMF has faced some challenges. When we assumed power, we had already reached an agreement on the restructuring of bilateral debt. We also had already started discussions on international sovereign bond debt in the commercial market. We recall that these discussions were publicly announced through the media, with the final agreement being made just 2 days before the presidential election. As a result, we were not given an opportunity to revisit discussions on debt restructuring. The negotiations had already been ongoing for more than 2 years. If we were to restart discussions on the restructuring program for an extended period, it would be impossible for us to move the economy forward without completing the debt restructuring process. When we assumed office, the discussions on debt restructuring, which had been ongoing for nearly 2 years, were in their final stages. At this juncture, debating whether the proposed restructuring plan is good or bad, advantages or disadvantages, serves no purpose. This is the reality we are faced with. Based on this, we have reached a common understanding regarding bilateral debt. We are now prepared to quickly formalize agreements with individual countries accordingly. On the other hand, with regard to international sovereign bonds and commercial market debt, we have reached a preliminary agreement. We anticipate that this process will be completed by the end of December. Consequently, we believe that this debt restructuring program with the International Monetary Fund can be successfully concluded before the end of this year. Additionally, we expect to secure staff-level agreements for the third review of the program this week, which will provide a credible foundation for rebuilding our economy. However, as a policy, we do not believe that this framework alone will suffice to address all the deep-seated crises facing our economy. Nevertheless, it will be adequate for managing the crisis in our financial sector. Yet, the economic structure of our nation is severely compromised, akin to a system suffering from significant structural collapse. Therefore, to navigate out of this breakdown, we must adopt a new economic strategy.
The Leader of the House and Chief Government Whip assumed duties today. Bima Ratnaik has assumed duties as the Leader of the House at his office in the Parliament complex. Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa assumed duties as the Chief Government Whip at his office in the Parliament complex. Now, members of Parliament arrived at the Parliament premises today morning for the first session of the 10th Parliament.
Minister Samantha Widyarathne said that today will go into the history as the most important day of parliamentary history. He added that the people of this country voted for the new renaissance and have sent new faces to the parliament. He pointed out that the people expect them to shoulder the responsibility of creating that renaissance of the country. He further said that a skillful and qualified group is now representing the parliament and expected the blessings of everyone in fulfilling that noble duty.
ලංකාවේ ජනතාවට තමන්ගේ ඇඟට ඇසට කනට දැනෙන්න ඇහෙන්න පුළුවන් එකක් බවට තව අවුරුද්දක් දෙකක් තුනක් යනකොට පරිවර්තන වෙනවා.
MP Chamindrini Kirialla observed that people can have a lot of expectations from the new parliamentarians and could hope for a good future. Minister Sunil Handuneti said that he has been in the opposition of the parliament for a long time and added that the opposition have now become the parliament. He also said that the people of the country has taken the correct decision. He added that he is aware of the wastage, corruption, theft and cheating that existed in the parliament earlier. He further said that he did not wish to enter the parliament on certain days since there were faces of members whom people now have rejected. He also said that there were members who cheated millions of rupees of the COPE committee and a female member was also attacked during that time.
මිලියන ගණන් වංචා කරපු මිනිස්සු hina වෙලා ඒ වටිනාකම රුපියල් 10ට දාලා එළියට බහලා යනකොට උන්ව හිරේ දාන්න බැරි වෙච්ච එකේ වේදනාව තිබුණා. අද ඒක නැහැ. අද බලමු ඉතින් ජනාධිපති
MP Namal Rajapaksa said that they are awaiting the steps taken by the president and also expecting whether the promises given to the people would be fulfilled when the government proposed to present the budget in the future. Minister Vijay Dherat said that they are sitting in the government for the first time and the people are having a lot of hopes in the government. He added that the parliament has started a new culture, realizing the responsibility of taking out the country from the economic crisis. He also said that from today onwards, the new clean political culture would be promulgated in the parliament. MP Gallant observed that the members of parliament were criticized earlier due to the practice of changing political parties. He added that since the party respected its policies, the people elected us to the new parliament. MP Palani Digambaram said that the NPP has received more than 150 seats and now they have to perform to the expectations of the people. MP Khader Mastan pointed out that according to the expectations of the people, the government would perform successfully and said that he is complimenting the new government. MP Rohita Begunawardena observed that an exemplary government would be in action in the future and added that he would be giving his support as an experienced member of the parliament. MP Kabir Hashim said that the parliament should perform its duty in order to fulfill the expectations of the people and it will take steps to safeguard democracy and said the activities of the present government would have to be observed in order to witness it. MP Ravi Karunanayaka pointed out that after 5 years, this government would be able to take the country in the path of progress and has that challenge with them. He added that an opportunity has come to work in unity, thinking about the future of the country. He expected that the country would progress in the right direction by using this opportunity properly and respecting the expectations of the people. MP Namal Karunaratne said that they would shoulder the process of changing this country. He added that the program presented to the people has also been accepted by the Tamil community also and added that the program would definitely be carried forward by the new government. He further said that the country which has been dragged into destruction would definitely be converted into a prosperous one.
Now, after the presentation of the government's policy statement, a significant moment which is anticipated took place.
And that is the Tea Party. All parliamentarians of the ruling and opposition parties of the 10th Parliament joyfully joined the Tea Party. Diplomatic officials, official of the 3 armed forces, public servants including the election commission officials and many individuals representing various sectors were present on this occasion. Now, as we've been speaking about so far, today is the inaugural session of the 10th Parliament of Sri Lanka. And to speak more about this, we have with us Charitha Miripurarachi. So, Charitha, can you tell us how today's parliamentary session is different from the parliamentary sessions that have occurred previously?
Yes, Niket, thank you very much. And today was the inaugural session of the 10th Parliament of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka upon the general election which was held on the 21st of November. And Niket, we had, as a country, we had certain significant milestones regarding the procedures that we respect dignitoriously with integrity. But here, according to the Communications Department of the Parliament, His Excellency the President Anura Kumar Dissanayake has instructed specifically to conduct a charm ceremonial event as the inaugural session of the 10th Parliament. So it is a very charm but the integrity of the country was represented. And upon arrival of the President, he was received by the relevant officials, the Speaker and the General Secretary of the Parliament, and upon escorted to the Robin Room, and Sergeant at Arms and the Deputy Sergeant at Arms, they were receiving the President and accompanying with the mace to the parliamentary cabin, and all the procedures were in line. And upholding the national responsibility, Niket, the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation telecasted each and every picture that is possible, but there were some behind the story scenes as usual.
Exactly, that's what we were also interested. There were so many who were eager to see the fresh faces, the brand new parliamentary members who walked in for the first time to the premises. And also there were some interesting stories that we got to know behind the scene, as you told, and also certain incidents that certainly will go down in the history of Parliament. What are these, Charlie?
Exactly, Dulanjali. So 225 members was elected, 196 from the elections and 29 members from the national list, and most of the members of the Parliament who were sworn in as members of Parliament represented today's parliamentary gathering. And there were some fascinating, insightful stories behind the scene, because there are two different entrances for the Parliament, members of the Parliament and ordinary people. And but Dulanjala was mentioned this with utmost respect, all the members of the Parliament. Some were basically new faces, and even the police officers, they might also leave and they might not know who is entering the Parliament, and they were requesting the identification documents. But the members of the Parliament were humble enough to support them and facilitate them with all the necessary arrangements, and they were let in, and they were dignitorisly set in at the inaugural session of the 10th Parliament, and their family members with a gallery, and upon dignitorious, respectful gallery was comprised at the 10th Parliament also. And Dulanjali, coming to the history, 10th Parliament will be written in history because representing the differently abled person, we have a representative as a member of the Parliament, and specifically we should appreciate the commitment of the parliamentary staff. They have privilege to, and they have assigned a particular officer to accompany that particular member of the Parliament to each and every situation, to the tea, and all the settings were there, and it was very precise. And yes, Dulanjali, I mean, as a country, we should be proud of, because keeping the traditions and honoring what we have received throughout the history, we conducted a very a very ceremonial inaugural session of the 10th Executive Parliament, and replacing the throne speech, which was in hierarchy. Today, His Excellency the President was presenting the government's policy statements, and this is the first time His Excellency the President visited the Parliament. And yes, all the sessions were in line, and the behind the story scenes were not privileged by the general public, but we were there to witness. And Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, upon the national responsibility, have delivered each and every piece of visuals that were possible, and in the future also we can convey all the messages to the general public through Rupavahini.
Certainly a novel experience to all the Sri Lankans, and thank you very much, Sharatha, for joining us to
Thank
share
you,
these
Niket.
stories with us. Continue with more news from home. The 29 deputy ministers of the NPP government took their oath in the presence of President Andrew Kumara Dissanayake today in the afternoon at the Presidential Secretariat.
Professor Anil Jayantha Fernando was sworn in as the Deputy Minister of Economic Development. The post of Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Livestock has been awarded to Namal Karunaratne. Wasantha Piyatissa is the Deputy Minister of Rural Development, Social Security and Community Empowerment. Nalin Hevage has been sworn in as the Deputy Minister of Vocational Education. R.M. Javadana is the Deputy Minister of Trade, Commerce and Food Security. The post of the Deputy Minister of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs has been awarded to Gamagedara Dissanayake. T.B. Sarath was sworn in as the Deputy Minister of Housing. Ratna Gamage took his oath as the Deputy Minister of Fisheries, Aquatic and Ocean Resources. Mahinda Jayasinghe has been sworn in as the Deputy Minister of Labour. The post of Deputy Minister of Defence has been awarded to Aruna Jayasekara. Arun Hemachandra was sworn in as the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Employment. The post of Deputy Minister of Environment has been allocated to Anton Jaikodi. Mohammad Munir is the Deputy Minister of National Integrity of the new government. Engineer Eranga Veeraratne was also sworn in as the Deputy Minister of Digital Economy. Eranga Gunasekara took the charge as the Deputy Minister of Youth Affairs. Chaturanga Besingha is the Deputy Minister of Industries and Entrepreneurship Development of the new government. Engineer Janit Ruan Kodituaku was sworn in as the Deputy Minister of Ports and Civil Aviation. The post of Deputy Minister of Women and Child Affairs has been awarded to Dr. Namal Sudarshana. Ruan Senarat is the Deputy Minister of Provincial Councils and Local Governance. Dr. Prasanna Kumara Gunasena was sworn in as the Deputy Minister of Transport and Highways. Dr. Hansaka Vijay also took his oath as the Deputy Minister of Health and Media. Upali Samarasinghe is the Deputy Minister of Cooperative Development. Ruan Chaminda Singhe was sworn in as the Deputy Minister of Tourism. The new Deputy Minister of Sports, Sugat Tilakaratne, was also sworn in today. Sundaralingam Pradeep is the Deputy Minister of Plantation and Community Infrastructure. Attorney Sunil Watagala was also sworn in as the Deputy Minister of Public Security and Parliamentary Affairs. The post of Deputy Minister of Education and Higher Education has been entrusted on Dr. Madhura Seneviratne. Dr. Harshana Surya Peruma is the Deputy Minister of Finance and Planning. Dr. Susil Ranasinghe was also sworn in as the Deputy Minister of Land and Irrigation.
Now, the elderly allowance of persons more than 70 years of age in the Aswasma recipient families would be credited to their bank accounts from this month. According to the Welfare Benefit Board, they can withdraw their money from tomorrow. The elders receive a monthly allowance of 3,000 rupees. The allowance, which is being paid to other elders who already received that allowance, who are not Aswasma beneficiaries and aged more than 70 years, will continue to receive the allowance from the post offices. Under the Aswasma project, this allowance is being paid to 511,086 persons.
The World Television Day falls today, and the day is celebrated on the 21st of November each year. This year's theme is Television Connects the World. This day is marked every year with the objective of further focusing attention to the influence made by television media to individuals and the society in general. The television has become the leading and excellent communication mode at present. Accordingly, in the role played by television, it makes a significant contribution to global awareness, decision-making and education. The World Television Day celebrations have focused attention of all towards communication, education and culture. Since from the beginning, the television media connects communities and enlightens the people throughout the world. The World Television Day was marked for the first time in 1996. It was declared by the United Nations General Assembly. The television has been able to achieve a significant role in conflict resolution, peace, social development and other decisive fields. Among the global services rendered by television are promoting education and global relations, enhancing culture and nurturing global peace. The black and white television screen, which was introduced during the first half of the 20th century, the viewers could only watch a limited number of programs. However, by the decade of 1950, the color TV was introduced. After that, television captured millions of viewers worldwide. By now, the television field is even surpassing the digital technology.
Former cabinet ministers Dr. Ramesh Pathirana, Roshan Ranasinghe and Prasanna Ranatunga appeared before the Criminal Investigation Department in Colombo this morning. They were called to the CID under a court order issued recently to record statements from the then Cabinet of Ministers regarding the import of medicines without applying proper procurement process. The former Minister, Harin Fernando, was also called up to the CID today. He was not present today. Instead, he has informed the CID that he will come tomorrow. The three former Cabinet Ministers left the CID premises today after giving statements. Former Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said that he was called to the CID regarding the purchase of medicines and its relevance to the Cabinet of Ministers. He said that the Cabinet has a collective responsibility in submitting Cabinet papers. He added that Cabinet papers arrive to the Cabinet of Ministers through technical evaluation committees. He said that then, considering the request, the Ministry of Finance will give approval to these requests. He further said that the Cabinet has approved the proper system and we clearly informed the Cabinet in this connection.
ඔබ්සර්වේෂන් හෝ මුදල් අමාත්‍යාංශය ඉල්ලීම් කරලා දීලීම් ගැන සලකලා ඒම තමයි අනුමැතියක් දෙන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒ ක්‍රමවේදය අනුගමනය කරලා තියෙන බව අපි පැහැදිලිව කිව්වා. ඉතින් ඒක අධිකරණයට එයා ඉදිරිපත් කරයි. දැන් අර ප්‍රශ්නගත
Former Minister Dr. Ramesh Patirana said that a cabinet paper has been presented in connection with the controversial procurement of medicines. Former Minister Roshana Singha said that he was called to the CID to record a statement regarding the emergency purchases of medicines proposed by Minister Kehelia Rambukwalda on the 26th of September 2022.
The Colombo Magistrate Court today ordered to issue warrant and take into custody former Minister Douglas Devananda and produce him before the court, and some other news items, including this news item. The reason for this, his arrest, is non-appearance before the court in order to provide witness in a court case. This case had been filed regarding an incident of providing 2 returned checks of 10 million rupees in 2016. The first stage of the third term of government schools and government-approved private schools of Sinhala and Tamil medium schools of 2024 ends tomorrow. According to the Ministry of Education, the school vacation will start after tomorrow. The first stage of the third term in Muslim schools will end on Friday, the 13th of December. Reopening of schools has been fixed for 2nd January next year. The restoration work of the blocked road at the 13th post of Passara Lunawala route due to a landslide is still in progress. According to the Badula Disaster Management Centre, the opening of the road would be decided after a discussion with the National Building Research Organisation tomorrow.
Now, the police have seized a stock of narcotics while they were being unloaded at the Gandhara Sea route. This stock of narcotics is worth over 5 billion rupees. The stock contains 60 kilograms of heroin and 160 kilograms of ice. Police have also taken 10 suspects in this connection. Acting IGP Priyanta Veerasurya said that the Special Task Force is engaged in the operation today also, and 3.5 kilos of ice and amounting to 11 million rupees has also been recovered. Apart from this, 1 kilogram of Kush narcotics and 2 packets of 900 grams and 500 grams of heroin has been recovered during the day today at the airport by the Police Anti-Narcotics Division. He added that Sri Lanka Police has conducted a good number of raids today and added that this has been conducted especially according to the policy of the government. Police media spokesman DIG Nihal Thalduva said that an information has been received regarding the handing over of a stock of narcotics by a boat to the Nonavalla area of the police division. Police Narcotics Bureau has seized a stock of Kush narcotics worth about 27.55 million rupees at the Katunayaka airport last midnight. The suspect is a 33-year-old Indian businessman. He has bought cartons of chocolates and bites in his baggages, and 1 kilogram and 900 grams of Kush narcotic was concealed in his cartons. And that's all the news from home. Stay tuned for foreign news after this break.
Get ready, Sri Lanka.
The International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrants for Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Gallant.
Chamber issued warrants of arrest for two individuals, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Gallant, for crimes against humanity and war crimes committed for at least 8th October 2023 until at least 20th May 2024. The ICC statement further stated that there are reasonable grounds to believe that the two individuals intentionally and knowingly which deprived the civilian population in Gaza of objects indispensable to their survival.
Indian billionaire Gautam Adani has been charged with fraud in the United States. The officials stated that he was accused of orchestrating a $250 million bribery scheme and concealing it to raise the money in the United States.
The criminal charges was filed yesterday in New York. The prosecutors alleged the tycoon and other senior executives had agreed to the payments to the Indian officials to win contracts for his renewable energy company, expected to yield more than $2 billion in profit over 20 years. The Adani Group has denied the allegations. Shares of Adani Enterprises closed down 20% today. Other group's firms also closed in the red. Adani Green Energy, which is the firm at the center of the allegations, said that it would not proceed with a $60 million bond offering. The claims, which Gautam Adani denied, prompted a major market sell-off and an investigation by India's market regulator Security and Exchange Board of India.
The head coach of the Sri Lanka cricket team, Sanjay Surya, says that he has instructed the players of the team to play at their best with maximum strength.
He made these remarks at a media briefing held in the Sri Lanka cricket this morning. The Sri Lanka team played 18 one-day international matches this year and won 12. Sri Lanka also won 5 one-day international series. It is significant that Sri Lanka has shown such a skill after 10 years. Answering a question, head coach of the Sri Lanka cricket team, Sanjay Surya, said that first he has instilled confidence in every player. He said that each player should think we represent 22 million people of this country. He added that they love the game very much. He said that therefore we all have a passion to promote this game. He said that when he played, he achieved 100% of his skills in playing. He further said that despite the win or defeat of the game, a player should have a positive attitude with body language. Sanjay Surya said that such small goals will matter with the final result. Answering a question, head coach of the Sri Lanka cricket team, Sanjay Surya, said that Dunit Velalage is a good cricketer. He said that when he is given a responsibility, he achieved it to the fullest. He added that he is a boy on a long journey.
good cricketer.
Selection Committee Chairman of the Sri Lanka Cricket, Upul Taranga, said that we should back up each player to continue the game. He said that if we sack a player after 2 or 3 matches, the other players would also become disappointed. He said that with such pressure, players are unable to perform well. He added that even a new player should be given a fair chance. Sri Lanka's team is scheduled to play 2 more test matches and 2 T20 international matches this year. The test series will commence from 27th of this month in South Africa. Have fought tonight. Join us tomorrow at the same time for the very latest on ChannelEye. I'm Rulanjali together with Niket signing off. Good night.
Good night.